Inkrose's top 12 favorite Pokemon. Hello there, my Brony and Pegasister friends. Today, I am going to be doing something a bit different. I recently became a huge Pokemon fan ever since I got Pokemon X for Christmas of 2013. Now, I absolutely love the series and I'm working on completing some of the other games. So now, I am doing a list of my top 12 favorite Pokemon. This list was actually inspired by Josh Scorcher's favorite Pokemon list. It's a really fun video and partially what got me to ask for X for Christmas and start researching the Pokemon franchise. So here are the rules. 1. Unless stated otherwise, all Pokemon places on this list include every evolution in the Pokemon's line. So if I said Gardevoir, for example, it means that I also am including Ralts and Corellia. 2. This is my opinion, obviously, so if a Pokemon you don't like is on here, well, that's your opinion, and you're welcome to have it. So, let's begin. Number 12. Snivy. After completing my first game, Pokemon X, I decided to play some of the other games in the franchise. Pokemon White was the second Pokemon game I ever played, and although I guess I should have gotten Black since I actually wanted Reshiram and thought he would be the legendary for White, it was still a fun experience. Sure, I did have a lot of problems with the fact that this game is actually quite a bit harder than X was, so I had to get used to grinding and grinding and grinding to get past the Elite Four, which was annoying, but yeah, it was still fun. Getting back on track, the starter I chose was Snivy. Why? Well, I looked up the final evolutions of all the starters and I really disliked what Oshawott and T-Pig turned into. Snivy, however, turned into a very elegant and beautiful serpent. I didn't like the design of Snivy himself all that much, but his next two evolutions more than make up for it. Also, I named my Snivy Link. He was my hero clothed in green after all. Number 11. Kyogre. When I was first deciding to get either Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, it was a bit of a hard choice. After all, I love the color red, as well as rubies, but in the end, I went with Sapphire. Not only because I love the ocean and water is my favorite element, though ironically my favorite Pokemon type is fire, but I liked the legendary better. Kyogre is a big killer whale-inspired creature, and I love killer whales. Looking at and playing with Kyogre reminds me of how much I love the ocean. I must admit, however, that I don't like Kyogre's original form nearly as much as its gorgeous origin form. In fact, that's why it's on the list. Its origin form is just beautiful. Number 10. Blaziken. Oh my, look at that! Another starter. Torchic was my favorite as I played through Alpha Sapphire. Its first evolution was adorable, and its final one? Hot dang, it's pretty flipping cool! Wait, there's a middle evolution, you say? Ha! Ha ha! We don't speak of it. Blaziken's design is overall just incredibly unique and looks great. I love using him in battle as well. Never got KO'd throughout the whole Sapphire game because of this guy. Number 9. Ninetales. I love foxes. They are regal while at the same time remaining absolutely adorable. So for my 9th pick, I have Ninetales and Vulpix. Ninetales is just a gorgeous fox Pokemon, her design reminiscent of Asian mythology. I don't really have much to say on her since the main reason I really like her is because of the fact that she's a fox and she looks really beautiful. Oh, plus she's a fire type. Yay! Number 8. Lucario. I was so happy when I was given my Lucario in Pokemon X for the first time, along with his Megastone. He has a stunningly unique design and interesting features. He gives off an interesting Egyptian vibe from his jackal-like appearance. I really have to wonder if he was based off of Anubis. Anyway, I took him with me up through the Elite Four and he helped me defeat the champion. Imagine my surprise when I watched his movie, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, and loved him even more. His backstory is so interesting and his personality is so serious, and yet has a soft spot inside him that makes me want to hug him. He's a great Pokemon that kicks butt in battle, earning him the number 8 spot. Oh, and I named my Lucario Aragon after one of my favorite book characters. Number 7. Pyroar. As soon as I saw this Pokemon among the list of Gen 6 Pokemon, I knew I had to have it. Pyroar is my kind of Pokemon. Not only is she a fire type, but she's a freaking lion! Big cats are my favorite animals, so it's no surprise she won my heart so quickly. I also enjoyed the fact that, just like real lions, the manes of the Pyroar are different depending on the gender. It's a fun detail that really adds to this Pokemon. I named the one in my game Kiara, after the daughter of Simba from The Lion King, one of my favorite movies as a kid. And just look at the face of this little cub, isn't it adorable? Just so cute. Number 6, Yveltal. As you already know, I got Pokemon X, not Y. So why is Yveltal on this list when I likely don't have him? Well, I found a shiny Esper in my friend's safari and traded someone their Yveltal for it. I was pretty happy, as should be expected. Yveltal is a really well-designed Pokemon in my opinion. His colors work well together and his overall appearance conveys exactly what he is, the Dragon Bird of Death. Speaking of that, is Yveltal supposed to be a dragon or bird-inspired? Most likely both. I've got to say, I love the heck out of Oblivion Wing. It's a freaking awesome move with a really cinematic animation. Last but not least, you've got to give this Bird of Death credit for being adorable in Pokemon Ami. Number 5, Virizion. Now we are starting to get to the top 5. These are Pokemon I love to death and would never trade away, starting with Virizion. As soon as I saw this legendary, I really wanted her. Her design is stunningly unique and beautiful with very good colors. I was quite happy when I caught her in Pokemon White and then used the Pokebank to transfer her to X. Not to mention that she too is adorable in Ami. I recently saw the movie Kyurem vs. the Swords of Justice, and seeing her in the movie made me like her even more, now that I knew more about who she was and what she did. She's an all-around awesome Pokemon that I enjoy sending into battle. Number 4, Sylveon. Come on now, you all knew that an evolution was going to be somewhere on this list. Everyone loves at least one evolution, right? Well, my personal favorite is Sylveon. Just look at that face. That is the face of so flipping cute you're gonna die horribly. And that is what Sylveon is. Adorable. She is basically a cat bunny after all, and everyone knows how much I love cats. The color scheme and design of this Pokemon work incredibly well, showing off her awesome fairy-type style to the max. Truly a great Pokemon to represent my second favorite type. I should mention that my other favorite evolutions are Espeon, Vaporeon, and Leafeon. Number 3, Meloetta. Meloetta is a really pretty and well-designed Pokemon. She basically screams adorable and yet elegant. The fact that her design features subtle musical references makes her design even more clever in my eyes. I first heard of her on Josh Scorcher's list before I played the games and immediately wanted her on my team. Imagine my sorrow when I found out she was an event legendary. Thankfully, a kind soul traded one to me, and now she is one of the highlights of my team. Watching episodes featuring her in the anime made me adore her even more. I think if I were a Pokemon, I would be her. Either that or Vulpix. Ra-la, 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 la-la, la. Ra-la, la-la, ra-la, 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 la-la, la. Number 2, Xerneas. Man, Xerneas is sure as heck my favorite legendary. The design just screams, this is Inkrose's favorite. Not only is it a deer, which is another of my favorite animals, but the design is just so amazing. Not to mention she's a fairy type, as stated before, my second favorite type. And yes, I call her a she. After all, I named mine Celestia. And that is who this Pokemon really reminds me of, my favorite pretty pony princess. Both designs are just so regal with gorgeous color schemes. I loved her even more when she appeared in the Diancie movie. Her beautiful voice and animation were stunning. Did I mention how I love it when Pokemon are cute in Pokemon Ami? Because I love it when Pokemon are cute in Ami. Xerneas is cute in Ami. Number 1, Fennekin. Yes, my favorite is a starter. Big surprise there. But can you really blame me? Fennekin was my first ever Pokemon. He's also the first I ever leveled up to 100. He's just awesome! And I love all of his evolutions, from Fennekin to Braixen to Delphox, and I love his typing. And you guys already know how much I love foxes. Though I think that Delphox's design could have been improved a bit, I still adore this line. Hopefully someday it'll get a Mega Evolution, along with some of the other Kalos Pokemon. I named my Fennekin Firefox for obvious reasons. Kind of an unoriginal name, I know, but I just felt like it fit my little fox of fire. And those are my top 12 favorite Pokemon. Sure, this isn't a pony video, but I thought I would do something different for a change. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Bye-bye!